Maize milling is one of the oldest yet most powerful business opportunity in agricultural sector. But the biggest question is it really profitable today? Whether you are in Africa, Asia, or anywhere, maize is a staple food. This video will break down the real number, startup cost, profit margin, and success tips so you can see if maize milling is the right business for you. So let's start with understanding the business. If we look at the basics, the maize milling business simply turns raw maize grains into a maize flour. It's used as staple food, and most people call it ugali or posho in different countries. This business serves millions daily. The demand is consistent because maize is the primary food source. That means it's not just seasonal, it's essential. So let's look at the startup cost. Now, what about startup cost? Most people ask themselves. And that depends on your scale, how much you actually want to produce. A small scale mill, 1 to 2 tons per hour, might cost between 5,000 to 15,000 US dollars. The minimum scale operation could cost about 20,000 to 50,000 US dollars. A large scale industrial plant go beyond 100,000 US dollars if we can estimate. You'll also need to consider costs for raw maize, packaging, labor, electricity, and maintenance. But don't panic. Even small community level mill can start profitably if managed efficiently. Okay, let's look at the profit margin. So how much can you actually make if you enter into the maize milling industry? Profit margins in maize milling typically ranges between 10% to 25% depending on your efficiency and local market prices. For example, if you process 10 tons per day and make $50 net profit per ton, that's $500 per day or roughly $15,000 per month. And that's somewhat a good profit if you enter into this business. Of course, margin improves with scale, consistent maize supply, and reliable distribution. So if you get the good market and people believe in you, of course, they will keep on making orders. And if you become reliable, you will make much more profits in this business. So what are the key to success? What should we do in order if we start the maize milling business to succeed in it? To make your maize milling business truly profitable, here are a few secrets and the things you actually need to know. Ensure quality control. And that is the number one criteria. This is the first thing you need to put into consideration. Ensure quality control. Clean, well-milled flour build trust. Keep that in mind. And number two, source maize locally to reduce transport costs. Of course, if you increase transport or if you increase your cost of production, that will force you to increase the prices for finished products. And of course, it will be hard for you to compete with other people in the market. And if we look at the third point is add value with packaging and branding. Don't just sell flour, sell your name. Sell your brand outside there. Let people know what they should ask next, and that must be your brand. So you must diversify also. Diversify. Produce animal feeds or corn grief from byproducts. Of course, the maize brand itself will allow you to produce animal feeds. And if you diversify in that way, you'll actually make much more money also. Market smartly. Supply schools, supermarkets, and local stores. Be everywhere in order to capture the markets. So what are the risks that are associated in this business? If you are to start, what are the things you should actually know so that you can avoid them or prevent yourself from these things? Like any business, there are risks. Power cut, maintenance, machinery breakdown, price fluctuations, poor grain quality can hurt profits. Of course, if you take the things in the market and they are rejected, you will also see that as a very big challenge. That's why it's vital to plan for maintenance, have backup power, like a generator, and build a strong supplier relationship. Make sure there is always constant demand for your maize. So build relationship with your clients. So is maize milling a profitable business if you are to enter into it? If managed well, it's one of the most profitable uh, business outside there. If you enter into agribusiness, you look at maize milling as one of the most profitable business for you to start. If you are passionate about food production, rural development, and creating jobs, this could be your next big move. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to and share it with someone thinking about starting a maize milling business. See you in the next video. And if you want to know the right machines for your maize milling business, kindly check on the video next. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice time. Bye-bye.